Hello, everyone. Good morning to you. It's Brother Minister Isaac Wilson coming to you again with a video. It's been a while since I've done a video, but anyway, I just was driving along here today, and I just had some things on my mind and on my heart, as I know we all, do with this in this day and time and dispensation. There's a whole lot going on around us, and a lot of things transpiring in people's lives, and just the day-to-day hustle and bustle of trying to live and trying to survive, trying to do the right thing, and do things that's pleasing in the sight of the Lord. Sometimes it takes a toll on us, or we get fatigued, or we get worried, but the Bible says do not become weary, don't get weary in well doing, you know but things will work out if we faint not. So I'm just thinking about this morning as far as just the different atmosphere and the different vibes sometimes that you go around, and certain elements, uh, you can go in one place and it's so peaceful, calm, and serene and tranquil, and then you can, as you go into another place or a store or somewhere else, it's like it's chaos. And I just started thinking about, we keeping in mind of knowing what spiritual climate that you are in. There are spiritual climates that we that you're in, or that you're surrounded by. Just like the natural world exists, the spiritual world also exists, and you may, just like as in the natural world, you may have the wind, the rain, and snow. So is it in the spiritual realm, you know. So, like I said, we got to know the spiritual climates um, that we're surrounded by, that we're within, you know. And just, sometimes you get a vibe and you feel like, wow, why are people acting all crazy, and why are they acting so strange and mean and evil? It's the spiritual climate that you're in. And so when when you get an unction within your spirit or within yourself, and know, okay, something is not right. Most of the time it isn't. It's the spiritual climate that you're in, and you need to start praying, and start praying, and taking action within the spiritual realm to change, so that climate can change. I was thinking about this morning, as far as us, uh, as far as unity, as far as us as black people. I was just thinking about the unity, as far as I just look at this day and time, as far as us as black people, as far as how, out of all the nationalities and ethnicities in our world, how all of them, they can come together and accomplish and do so many great things. And I look at us here, a lot of us, African American, black folks, talented, gifted, and blessed with so many different skills, gifts and talents that we still can't come together. And I thought about the word unity. When you talk about unity, the word unity, if you break it down and you leave out the Y, that word says what? Unity, unit, which means one. Now, it's so hard to be a unit if there's competition, you competing with people, um, being spiteful, and just being petty. You can't. There's not going to be any unity involved, or you can't be a unit when you have those things going on. Even in the families these days, there's competition, there's spiteful and jealous behavior going on and transpiring these days, with such of the smallest of things, such the small things that that people are experiencing and going through in families that the devil uses to keep us divided, which is so sad. It's so sad. We say, well, the white man this and the white man that. You look at it, a white man can only do so much. But we do certain things to ourselves. When you look at the black on black crime that's transpiring in some of our urban communities and areas, you don't see a lot of time. You don't see white people going around trying to kill and hang black people in our urban areas. It's most of the time it's black on black senseless crimes and deaths that's taking place in our communities. Not to mention, far as you look at how people driving these days, people not focused on the road and mind is other places. You're trying to get over, and people won't let you get over. And I just say, it's really sad that people being spiteful and petty in the way that they are, putting on brakes so you can try to cause you to run in the back of them. I said, it makes no sense at all how people are driving these days. So yeah, the jealousy and the competition, and and wondering who has this or who has that. All these things does not make any difference at all. We should all be able to come together and unite to be able to do things and accomplish things. Because the struggle is real out here. There's some people that don't have, they have enough money just to pay their mortgage. They might not have enough money for food, for groceries and so forth. And that's when, it takes another loving brother or sister, another, kind heart or kind gesture to look out for somebody. We shouldn't look down on one another in any form or fashion at all. We got people that's trying to perpetrating out here, got all these expensive cars and jewelry and everything else, trying to make people think that you got money, and really you struggling. So I don't understand, the mindset of a lot of us. A lot of times do a lot of unnecessary things. We misuse our finances, and then we sit back to quick and blame and want to talk down about somebody else who's just trying to survive and live just as you are. But they may have set other standards for their way of living and their lifestyle. Some of us are living above and beyond our means, and you don't have to. Because like I said, we're so busy trying to compete and be better than one another, then it's causing you more pain and suffering, a heartache and frustration. And there's so many women out here, single parents, and there's some single fathers out here trying to raise their kids, and they don't have nobody to babysit for them. And like I said, people don't like to babysit no more. You may not have people, the good support staff that, as family used to have. Whereas though, they look and say, well, you know what, I know that you're working and you're trying to do everything all by yourself. Let me take your kids for a weekend. Let me give you the opportunity to have a break, to relax and ease your mind from the stress and maybe some of the circumstances that you may be going through, or, I got a little extra money. Let me see if I can help out and, maybe help you with some groceries this week or this month. Any kind gesture would be so helpful to your brother or sister who may be struggling. Never judge a book by its cover. A lot of people, you never know what people are going through. You know, some people are smiling on the outside, but suffering and crying within. You know, and what we got to do, we got to hold fast, and we just got to learn to come together and stick together as one. You know, as God said, bear ye one another's burdens. We got to be able to bear one another's burdens and not try to be a burden to other people, but try to have a heart to try to help people. You know, stop being so greedy and always just thinking about money all the time. Life is not all about money, because you know what? When we dead and you're gone, guess you're not gonna be able to enjoy it. Somebody else is gonna be spending and enjoying that money that you working and spend those countless times and trying to build. You know, it's nothing wrong with having nice things and everything, but that should not be your main focus. You know. And I look at this T-shirt right here I got. It's Colin Kaepernick, who took a stand. You know, it's not enough people these days that's willing to take stands. It's this guy did, Colin Kaepernick, one of the former football players for the San Francisco 49ers, who took a stand. You know, because of how the people were being treated. You know, that's a selfless life that God is calling all of us to live. To be able to take stands when we see things that are not right. You know, it's not enough people like this in our world today. So much going on that people just, instead of us dealing with the matter or speaking out against certain things, we turning a blinded eye and going on as if we don't see anything at all. And it's really sad for us as this day and time. Even our churches can't come together because there's so much competition and so much jealousy. You know, in the body. We are called to be the salt of the earth, meaning we are supposed to preserve. God has called us to preserve. We be able to preserve the earth, to be able to do these things, to stand up, to speak out, and the things that God called us to do in our world, in our society in which we live in. You know, we need more Malcolm X's. We need more Martin Luther King's, Marcus Garvey's to stand up these days. There's too many people selling out, bowing out, and fearful and afraid to stand up to the things that we know that is right. Even if it means your own life. These men, they stood and they spoke, demonstrated, and they knew that their lives were at stake. So, man, we need more black men, not this black man, but I know we need all men, but I'm speaking specifically to my black community right now. We need more black men to stand up and to be positive role models and leaders in our communities. You know, it's sad that when I ride along, I see many men standing up on the corner all day long in front of a liquor store, corner store all day long, talking and wasting time, wasting countless time and years. You could be gone for 5, 6, 7 years, and you'll come back and you see those guys, some of the same people standing and doing the same exact thing, standing there wasting time doing nothing with their life. That's sad. When they can be making a difference in the community with all the gifts and talents that God has blessed us with, we don't have any excuses at all. We make excuses for ourselves. And that's what we need to stop doing, black men. We need to stop making a whole lot of excuses. Sure, we may not get support from our government and other forms of people that may look down upon us. Sure. But that should not still stop you from being a positive influence on some of our young people who we see that are struggling or falling by the wayside, you know, out here smoking drugs, K2, that K2 stuff is taking our black community down. You know, it used to be crack, but now they came out with something more serious and vicious. K2 is vicious. If you see the effect that it's having on our community today, it is so vicious. And it's like nobody's saying anything about it. It's just sit back, people just shake their head and say, "Oh man, that's so bad." But we have, it's time, we need to make a difference. We need to unite. We need to become more one. And we see how churches want to just keep on taking in money and asking for donations. We need to go into the highways and the byways into the communities and render love and service and share the love of Christ to the community in which God has commissioned us to do. And stop waiting on people to come into those four walls all the time and to give an offering. It's work for us to do. It's a lot of work for us to do. A lot of our young people are complaining and saying they can't find a job. A lot of them don't really want to work. And we look at our parents. The parents are not helping them either. They're not helping the situation. Babying your child up, especially your boys. You can't baby your sons up and treat them like little kids. Because you know what? You cripple them more than you realize. They will never learn responsibility as a man. The more you, as a parent, a mother, or be a father, try to baby your sons and your daughters up. Specifically, I want to talk about specifically as far as the young men. A lot of them, they out here standing in front of the gas stations and begging people for money. And when you tell them no, they get mad and want to do this and want to do that. That's not right. That's a young man that's been spoiled all his life. And so used to people just giving him, handing things to him so easily that he don't feel as though he should work for anything. Because mom or his daddy spoiled him so rotten that he can't even go out here and on his own and survive and make it on his own. And not alone that, the same gentleman, the same young man going out here and making babies can't even support and take care of their sons or daughters, their kids. So what you got, a perpetuation of laziness, poverty, because the word says if you don't work, you don't eat. So if you don't like to work or you don't want to work a job, you're going to live in poverty. So, like I said, there's so much on my mind right now. I just can't get it out all at once. And some of you all know where I may be at. We just got to continue to pray, and we just got to continue to do more. We got to be like Colin Kaepernick. And when I'm saying that, I need to say that I'm saying this to myself as well. It's more that we need to do. This man was making millions of dollars in the NFL, and he put it all on the line because he said, you know what, it's not right. How my people are being treated. But we need more people to stand up and think like this and to have a heart like this. Like, you know what? It's not right. We need to take a stand. It's something we need to do. So, and I'm going to also say to you, brothers and sisters, be careful of the company you keep. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. Some of us hanging out with people that are toxic and no good in our lives for us at all. Some of these people you need to get out of your lives. You need to get toxic people out of your lives. If you're not progressing or moving forward, doing anything positive, you need to get those toxic people out of your lives. And people who you think are your friends really not your friends. There's some people that are your friends for various reasons, or say that they're your friends for various reasons. They really not. They're your associates. Excuse me. When you say friend, somebody's your friend. Your friend friends these days are valuable. A lot of us got associates, but we just don't even realize that. Some of us, when we got money and we got things, everybody around you. Everybody want to hang out and everybody want to talk to you. But start not having a certain things as far as money, or it's different various things that be able to help people out. People don't want to be bothered with you. So friends these days, cherish the friends that you have. And friends is someone, to me, that sticks closer than a brother. It's like a family man. It's somebody that can tell you about yourself without you knowing that they not trying to hate on you, or that they really just got your best interests. That they're going to tell you, you know what, you wrong. You shouldn't have did that, or you shouldn't have said that, man. You know, I love you, but you wrong, man. You're out of line. You're out of order. And that's what a real friend will do. A real friend ain't going to tell you stuff that you just want to hear. They're going to tell you stuff because they love you and care about you and want you to change and correct those certain errors in your ways. Okay? Associate tell you anything. Just tell you anything you want to hear. Just so just to keep them around and they could keep using you up until you ain't got nothing else to give. And there's a whole lot of people out here that are sapping people dry. And I'm telling you, you need to rid yourself of those toxic people in your lives. Okay? Because when you have goals and aspirations, you should be around people that same way. Don't hang around people hang out with people that's not trying to do anything or to better themselves or better their lives. Women sitting up here doing all of this and that and for these guys, or vice versa, you doing all this and that for this woman, and whenever it's your turn that you need somebody to be there for you, they ain't nowhere to be found, or they get quiet. They ain't saying, well, okay, I got your back, or what you need me to do. You need to be careful of the people or the company that you keep. And also, I'm gonna talk about raising kids. Sometimes your kids. Sometimes your kids got to learn on their own. You go out and you work hard, and it seems like the more you do for them, the less they appreciate you. And sometimes you gotta just put your hands up and fall back and say, you know what, Lord, they're more of your kids than they are mine. You gave them to me. And so, you know what, Lord, I don't know where they are mentally right now, and I'm not going to judge them, but I'm going to leave them in your hands, God. I'm going to trust them, trust you, Lord, to keep them in your hands. And whatever plan and whatever that you have for their life, Lord, I know that it was your perfect will, because I tried as a parent. And a lot of times don't mean that you failed as a parent, because sometimes you may not feel as though you're reaching your kids. It's just sometimes God say, you know what? I got this. Let me handle it. Because see, we can't control people. We can't change people's minds and hearts. That's his job. And so sometimes, I think sometimes we just do too much for our kids. And we love them so much that we forget we not God. We can't change people. We can't make our kids do what we know or what we think was best for them. Only God knows what's best for them. And so, I'm going to challenge you all. Put them in God's hands. And sometimes you just got to fall back. Got to fall back. You might not want them to suffer and go through. But guess what? Sometimes that may be what they need to be able to get through and to grow. To make them to be, or so they can be where you desire for them to truly be. We gotta let God. We gotta let go and let God when it comes to raising our kids, especially when you have established a foundation and taught them how to pray and have a relationship with the Creator. You know, and been an example to them and taught them. But what I find these days, a lot of parents are trying to raise their kids and think they're doing their kids a service because there's so much guilt on their part not being there for their kids that they figure, oh, I'm going to buy them all this. I'm going to do all of this and that, the other, to make up for me not being there in their lives. You're not helping them at all. You're hurting them. So it's time for us to come together. It's time to come together, people. These are the last days that we're living in. These are the last days. You've seen all kind of storms. You've seen all kind of famines around in various parts of our nation, our world. God is trying to get our attention. He's trying to get our attention. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So we just got to continue to seek God first. Seek God first. And He'll take care of the rest. Take care of His business and He'll take care of you. May God bless you. I hope that this heart-to-heart conversation has been a blessing to you all. Have a good day. Until we meet again, you be blessed.